Hi, everybody. I'm Greg. I'm Biome with Matter on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Moxfield, and Blue Sky. Biome with Matter _actual on Threads and Instagram. And I am continuing my box breaking spree of MTG Wilds of Eldraine. I received my orders in 2 waves, so I just finished uploading all of the videos of my first wave today. So now I'm starting on the second wave. And the second wave contained 3 collector boxes and 3 set boxes and a starter deck. I um, I have already opened the first of these boxes, so I got to process the video for that, and that'll be up. Um, so this is officially collector box number 5 of 5 in total so far. And then there's one more to go. So essentially, I bought a case, but I bought it split. I couldn't pay for all of my all of it in one wave, so I had to kind of like space myself out a little bit. Um, but essentially, I'm opening a case worth of collector's boosters. I did get a confetti foil out of one of my first wave collector boxes. So we'll see if I can hit another in these 3. They may only be 1 to a case, so I'd have to get lucky. But fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. So yeah. So I think I've held that long enough to get a good thumbnail out of it. And that's thought I had it. Get this baby unwrapped. Okay. Yes, well. Yeah, notice these are packed in fairly solidly. Okay. Okay. So we've got our 12 packs in 2 stacks. And just going to get into it. I'm not going to be going over the commons and uncommons. The focus is a little blurry at that level because I want to be able to hold up the cards to you to see them in close up without fluctuating focus. Because that just kind of gets to me when at least when I'm doing it. I don't know if it would bother me if I was just watching it, but so the commons the commons and the uncommons I'm just gonna show you. I'm not gonna like read out the cards. I just want to get them on the screen long enough that you could pause if you were interested in one of these. If you're totally new to the set, I've been cracking many boxes of this already, so we're into the uncommons now. So some of these are like yes, I've seen them many times, so but they could be fresh to you. So these foil lands are very nice. I like them a lot. Yeah, I kind of called it out on another one of my earlier videos. I'll probably do it again just for redundancy. Okay, so there are these Enchanting Tales subsets in here. A lot of them are, uncommons, so they aren't particularly worth much, but they're pretty new art of older, older cards, or reprints of older cards. And they're Enchanting Tales. So this is a foil version. Okay, our main set rare here is a Tale for the Ages. Gruff Triplets in extended art. Okay, so that's another main set. As is the Cruel Somnophage, which is in a is that showcase or not? I think there's a fancier showcase for this one. Maybe not. That might be it. Blind Obedience is the rare of the tales. Okay. It's our first rare tale. Virtue of Persistence. Okay, so this is a mythic, and it's foil. And I don't think I pulled this one before. So, Lochthwain Scout, 1 in a black. So the adventure side is target creature gets -3, -3 till end of turn, and you gain 2 life. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, put a target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Okay, so that's 5 and 2 black. This is the showcase foil version of it, I think. I'm gonna have to double check the art. It may not be the showcase. It just may be the baseline. Okay, so that's from the main set. We have a rat and a food token. I'm actually going to pause to just look at the Virtue of Persistence. That is the showcase. So the showcase foil's like 14-ish. It's 12 to 14. So that's solid. Okay. We will let the commons fly by. You can appreciate the art on those. Now we're into the uncommons. Edgewell Inn. Then we have another full art land card in foil for Island. Utopia Sprawl. So that's a tail that's uncommon. Hatching Plans in foil. Uncommon. Decadent Dragon in foil. So that's main set. Fairy Slumber Party. This is from the main set. Return all creatures to their owner's hands. For each opponent who controlled the creature returned this way, you create 2 1/1 blue fairy creature tokens with flying, and this creature can block only creatures with flying. So, yeah, so that's kind of oh, now my mind is blanking on it. Fairy Slumber Party. Okay, it isn't expensive, so it doesn't matter. Virtue of Strength. So this one's not foil, but Garenbrig Growth. Return target creature or land card from your graveyard to your hand. Then if you get this out as an enchantment, if you tap a basic land for mana, it produces 3 times as much of that mana instead. Okay, so this is a card I should have had near the top of my list as something that I wanted. I will take it. Shared Animosity. Non-foil, but it is a tail. And a Karmic Justice foil. I don't believe this is the anime version. This is the regular version of it, but in foil. A human token with food on the other side. So virtue of, close that, of strength. It's like 713. Oh, but this is, oh, wait a second. It is the showcase. That doesn't matter. That actually is less. So it's like 5 to 6. 6 something, but you know, it's Nyx Bloom Ancient adjacent. So it isn't as powerful because it's not like when you tap a permanent. This one has to be a basic land. But still, I'm yes, I am guilty of mana multiplication crimes. So common. Yes, I generally, well, I mean, I gravitate towards including green in my decks, and I like doing, you know, speaking. So this is an uncommon, but speaking of the art, that's very cool. So yeah, I'm definitely a green centric player. I have intentionally built other decks that aren't green, to make sure that I'm giving some of the other colors a try. I do have an Edgar Markov deck where I put in some knights that aren't necessarily vampires to kind of like cut down on the eminence and maybe make it more reasonable for pods. And my Legacy Kane deck does have green in it. I just built a Golgari deck, and I have a Selesnya deck, so you kind of get the idea. Dark Tutelage, Vampiric Rites in foil, still in the uncommon range for the tails. Restless Cottage in the main. Court of Garenbrig, okay, and extended art foil. So this is my first copy of this. I saw the name, and I remember the Castle of Garenbrig land. So let's see what this one does. The Court of Garenbrig enters the battlefield. You become the monarch. Okay, that's what the courts do. At the beginning of your upkeep, distribute 2 +1/+1 counters on up to 2 target creatures. Then if you're the monarch, double the number of +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. Yeah, I like that. So I'm glad I picked up a copy of that. Now this is also from the Commander set. So this is WOC code on it. but I am happy to have gotten one of those. We have the borderless version of the Restless College. This one's Cottage. This is not in foil. It's from the main set. Ooh. And Smothering Tide. This is just the basic version of it. It's not foil, but it is a mythic. And despite being reprinted, I think it's still expensive. And Cruel Somnophage in showcase, foil, treasure, and a food. Yeah, I did pull a whatchamacallit, Smothering Tithe, borderless anime from another box. Not foil, but so Smothering Tithe on its own here. Yeah, so it's like a $13 card. But the anime version is like $50. And the anime in foil is like 107, and then there's a confetti foil version, which is even more ridiculous. So yeah, there's at least a few of those animes that really go for a premium, particularly in the foil and the confetti foil. I don't know mathematically how the confettis work out, but I think that they're, to me, they're like the serial numbered cards for the set. They don't have serial numbers, but I just mean rarity wise, because it's the kind of bonus thing that they put in that's, like 1 to a case or less. So they're hard to get. Okay, commons. Greta Sweet Tooth Scourge. The Witch's Vanity. And a mountain. Full art foil. Season of Growth. Compulsion in foil. Spiteful Hexmage. Foil. Court of Ardenvale. So when Court of Ardenvale enters the battlefield, you become the monarch, and at the beginning of your upkeep, return a target permanent card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to your hand. If you're the monarch, return that permanent to the battlefield instead. So that's in the commander set. Decadent Dragon in the showcase version. Non-foil. Greater Oromancy anime, borderless anime version. So we'll have to see what that. Other enchantments you control have Shroud, and enchantment creatures you control have Shroud. And Spellbook Vendor in extended art foil. A Nightmare and a food. Can't resist on this one. Yeah, so it's like, say, 35 for that Greater Oromancy. So that's a solid hit. Okay. Browse through the commons. Into the uncommons. Island. Full art island and foil. Okay, hatching plans. Utopia Sprawl and foil. Hilda of the Icy Crown. So that kind of caused a splash. It's not particularly valuable, I don't think, but a lot of people were interested in building around it. Bernard Ginger Sculptor. Okay, so this is from the Commander set. Extended art, non-foil. Pollen Shield Hair in Showcase. I covered this just in the last break. Leyline of the Void. So of the ley lines, I think that's the one that's worth the most. But it's not the foil version is the one that matters on that, so it's not super. The Song of Totentanz. Yes, I was on a stream with Voiden. I was visiting Voiden's stream and got into a discussion about how the heck do we pronounce that. Without a pronunciation guide, I'm not positive. It could be Totentanz. It seems Germanic to me, so I kind of like want to run it together. And Totentanz, maybe. Anyhow, so this is for the rat subset. Create X11 black rat creature tokens with this creature can't block. Creatures you control gain haste until end of turn. So that's from the main set. Mouse and food. Sorry. Mouse and food. Okay, the final pack of the first stack. Get the commons out of the way. To the uncommons. Hit the land. So that kind of transitions the pack. Now we got our first Impact Tremors. Is our tail. Intangible Virtue, uncommon and foil. Thunderous Debut in foil is our main set rare. A second copy of Court of Garenbreak. So I had 0, now I have 2. Devouring Sugarmaw. It's in Showcase, so that's from the main set. Goblin Bombardment, so we have ourselves a rare tail, and we have Leyline of Sanctity in foil. Um, that's another rare. But I think that the rat and food. Um, but I think most of the ley lands aren't too expensive. Okay. Dollars. Candy grapple. Yeah, there are a number of sagas in this as well. Not as much as there are adventures, but at least that's been my experience from flipping through it. I don't have exact counts. Forest. Griffin Airy. Garrick's Uprising in foil. Uncommon Tale. Expel the Interlopers in foil. So that's main set. Extraordinary Journey. That's also main set. So that's the extended art version. Kellen the Fey-Blooded, Borderless. I believe that may be my first Borderless copy of it. So that's also main set. Oppression. So Oppression is a rare tale. This one is borderless, but not foil. Hilda's Crown of Winter and extended art foil. And a nightmare and a food. Pick a coin. Our commons from the pack. Uncommons. And that pretty island. Curiosity. Spreading Seas. Foil. The Goose Mother. And there's the extended art of the crown, not foil. Restless Spire. It's the borderless version of that land. Fiery Emancipation. So, non-foil. So I do believe the price on that has come down a bit. Blossoming Tortoise. An extended art foil. Okay, that's main set. Treasure and food. Okay. Initial commons into the uncommons. Swamp. Vampiric Rites. Knightly Valor. Foil. Still uncommon. Lord Skitter Sewer King. Rare. Lightwing Bandit. In extended art. That's from the Commander set, and I think this might be one of the ones that's got some value to it. I'll look it up at the end. Virtue of Courage. I already died to this in a game. On Kurohitsuki's stream in his Urbrest deck. Got to burn us out with this. Yeah, so first it deals 2 damage, and then, well, essentially, okay, so he burned us out with the combination of cards that he had in Urbrest, but basically this one, as the enchantment, whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to an opponent, you may exile that many cards from the top of your library. You may play the cards this turn. So, yeah, it's a good card. This from the main set. Okay. Ooh. So, Grave Pact, presumably, anime, borderless anime, not foil. Ooh. Ah. Okay. So, here's a surprise. So this is Repercussion. So we got this in the last box, but it wasn't a confetti. So you see all those little dots of light. Yeah, it's a confetti version of the anime Repercussion. Okay, so that one, might as well look those up now. Mouse and food. Control and find. Grave. Grave Pact anime borderless is 16. So Repercussion, anime borderless confetti foil is 83. Yeah, so I think pretty much any box that's got one a confetti foil box is probably a good overall box, I would hope. At least it's not a box I'm going to gripe about, I don't think. Common. Because we got some decent anime cards out of it as well. You know, other anime cards. uncommons. Mountain. Extended art. Full art. Foil. Grasp of Fate. Those are uncommon tail. Foil version. Stab Wound. Still common. Virtue of Persistence. And foil. Sleep Cursed Fairy in extended art. Twining Twins in showcase. Sanguine Bond. And Decadent Dragon in showcase foil. Knight. 2/2 Knight with Vigilance. And a food. Okay, we're down to the last 2 packs. Okay. Screen Puff Marshmallow Man. Some more commons. Into the uncommons. Frolicking Familiar. Foil. Okay, a Forest. Extended art with the full art foil. Land. Raid Bombardment. Ground Seal in foil. The Huntsman's Redemption. Song of Tauntaunts. Scalding Viper in showcase. Leyline of Anticipation. Rare. A rare tail. Okay. And Dawn of Hope as another rare tail. And a human. And a food. Okay, down to the last pack. The initial run of commons. Into the uncommons. The planes. Full art. Garrick's Uprising. Dragon Mantle and foil. Sorry about that. Dragon Mantle and foil. Food Fight. Foil from the main set. A Lone Crafter Fawn. So this is from the Commander set. So there's the battlefield. You may discard one or more land cards. When you do, return up to that many target non-land permanent cards from your graveyard to your hand. Heartflame Duelist in Showcase. So that's from the main set. Karmic Justice. Rare. Spectre of Mortality in Extended Art Foil. That is the main set. Okay. And a bird. And a food. So just kind of stack these up. Okay. So, Blightwing, I need to look that up. Okay, so for the Garenbrig, I've got it in foil and non-foil. I have the other court. I don't think they're super expensive. The Loam Crafter, I don't think as much. This one, I just remember, seeing it spoiled. People want to play around with it. The Blightwing, I think, is like a sleeper card in the Commander subset. So let's just take a look at that quickly. Okay. Yeah, so Blightwing Bandit, extended art, and we kind of get cheated there. So it's the extended art foil and the regular version that are more expensive. So this is the budget version of the Blightwing Bandit. So not as good as I thought. Bernard is worth a little bit, but as an extended art, is it? It's like 7-ish, 7 something for this. Courts. We'll go into the courts. So the court of Ardenvale, extended art is only 3. The court of Garenbrig, extended art is like 5. And the foil is also around 5. That's like, another 10. And Loam Crofter is like 6, so it's not bad. So not a whole lot, but out of the commander side of things. Out of our main set, um, like the virtues. I like that there's a goose mother in there. Um, I should look up Expel the Interlopers because there's. Yeah, we'll look at the extended art version of that. A few of the most likely in the main set. So okay, so the gruff isn't. Um, try to find virtues. So we got a virtue of persistence in the showcase foil. That's like 15. Okay, so that is good. Uh, the regular virtue of persistence foil is still 8. And the virtue of courage in the showcase. Okay, it's not foil. It's still like 5-ish. The song in the extended art foil is 5. Spell is foil, not a big deal. Okay. So Kellen in Borderless is like 7. Well, anywhere from 4 to 7. So that's another one where the pricing might be weird. Blossoming Tortoise extended art foil, that's like 15. Spectre of Immortality extended art foil is 214. Okay, and I want to look up Art Flame. Yeah, not. Okay. So we've got our commanders, main set. So here, yes. So Brave Pact. Buildas I want to know about. I think the Fiery Emancipations come down, but look at that. Smothering Tide. We'll look at Blind Obedience. Okay. No, and these should have been in the main set. So, fine. Hilda's Icy Crown. Extended art is 7, and the extended art foil is 10. So they're both decent hits. And then there were the tails. So Leyline of the Void, just normal version. He's only 345. Okay. It's like once you get into the foils. The blind obedience. Not so much. Fiery. Okay, Fire Emancipation is 9 just on its own, as just a standard version. So then we get into this stuff. We did look these up before, but I just need to refresh my memory. The Smothering Tithe is like 13. The Grave Pact in the anime, Borderless, it's 16. Greater Oromancy in Borderless is 35. And then there was the Precious. The Repercussion confetti foil. So the Repercussion in anime Borderless confetti foil is 83. So I do believe that with all of this good stuff, with much of it, with a subset around 5 or more and several that are like 10 or more, and these bigger ticket ones, I do believe this box paid for itself. I think when all is said and done, it's probably did the trick. But here is the All-Star, the Repercussion. That's pretty gorgeous. Love to see it. So that's my second confetti foil. And so that's out of 5 boxes. But they were from at least two different cases. So like one was from wave 1, one is from wave 2. Each wave had 3 boxes. So yeah, so I think I'm doing pretty good here on these new collector boxes. And I hope you liked seeing the bling. And I've got one more of these to go, and then 3 set boxes and a starter kit is what's left to open from the set. And then there's the commander decks themselves. I don't even know if those have the little collector pack sampler things in them or not. Um, but I will open up one of each of those. There's just a duo of commander decks, so I'll open them up and see um, what they're all about. Thanks for watching. Watch for me on Twitter mainly currently, although I'm trying to do some stuff on Blue Sky more and more, but it doesn't have video uh, yet. So it's like there's threads which I haven't been back to in a while because just I need a desktop client. So until they get that worked out, I really can't do the bulk of what I'd like to do. So it seemed like an okay place, and I'll have to check back in on it. But it's just like I can only juggle so many different things. So like Instagram, I hardly do anything on, but Twitter is mainly where I post right now. And then I put these on YouTube. You found this on YouTube, or found it on Twitter, which pointed you to YouTube. Yeah, so anyhow, that's where you'll find me. I've got more to come, and I hope to see you again. Bye bye.